Hey guys, so I'm going to do a review today on the Revlon Colorstay foundation. This is the one without a pump. Apparently the new versions do have a pump, but I have not seen them in stores yet, so if you want to hold out for that. It doesn't bother me that it doesn't have a pump because it's a fairly thick liquid, but I'll get into that more later. Anyway, so I am the dry to normal formula, and it's going to tell you right there in the bottle which formula it is. There's dry, normal dry, and there's combination oily. So, you pick what's appropriate for your skin type. I am also 180 sand beige, and you can see it's a pretty neutral color, but it is more on the yellow side. And for reference, I'm in NC 25. It's a really, really good match for me. I'm wearing it right now, and it's more on the neutral side than, say, MAC NC foundations are, but I'm actually coming to find out that I'm less yellow toned, yes, less yellow based than I thought I was, so it's actually a great match for me. If you want to go more olive toned, I would go up to golden beige. So, I have my list of stuff I want to go through. So I'm going to talk first about the price versus how much product you get. This is an ounce, 1 liquid ounce, which is a fair amount considering the coverage you get from this. And this is a drugstore product, and the price ranges anywhere, I think, from $9 to $11. I think mine came out to like $10 or something, which, to be honest, I think is a little bit pricey for a drugstore foundation, but for this one, I think it's worth it. And, if you consider you can get an ounce of a MAC foundation for $30, it starts to make more sense. So the coverage you're going to get from this is, I'd say medium to full, but definitely on the fuller range of this. You could try and put it on with a wet sponge to shear it out, but, in all honesty, if you're looking for a lighter coverage foundation, just get a lighter coverage foundation, because this is made to go on, to cover everything, basically. One layer is going to even your skin tone out and hide most blemishes. If you put another layer on, that's pretty much going to work as your concealer. It may not get the really big under eye circles or a really bad blemish, but in general, I found I don't need a concealer when I'm wearing this. The texture of it, as I mentioned, it's a pretty thick liquid. It is liquid, so the way I do it is I pour it out on the back of my hand, but it's thick enough where if you tilt your hand like this, it's not going to run off. Alright, so I mentioned the packaging for this. The color selection, I'm going to link Temptalia's foundation matrix below, because if you know your MAC color or a color from any other company and your undertone, warm or cool, you can find your color in this. It's so hard to match foundations at drugstores because you can't open the bottles, or at least you shouldn't be opening the bottles. So it's really useful. I will link that below. I love her blog too. The availability of this, it's drugstore. You can find it at CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Walmart. I mean, it's everywhere. It's not a hard foundation to find at all. Okay, so as for the application method, as I said, I unscrew the top and I pour it out in the back of my hand. I experimented with a couple ways to do this, but this is my favorite. So it's on the back of my hand, and I just take a synthetic foundation brush. This is my Prescriptives one. But, there's a million of these. You can find them anywhere. Eco Tools makes a great one. And I just sort of dip it in. I use this dry and paint my face, basically. Just work on spreading it out. The thing is with this is not the sort of foundation where you want to go dot, 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 and then spend time blending each section in. You definitely need to work this cheek first, then your nose, then, because it dries really quickly. I think the oily skin version is even more prone to drying quickly, but with this one you do have to work fast. So, I mean, don't rush through it like crazy. It's not that bad, but I would definitely recommend using a silicone-based primer first, unless you're really oily, because it helps it just sort of glide over your skin, or just make sure you're really well moisturized, because you want your skin to be smooth enough and, moisturize enough that it's going to glide instead of sort of sticking and drying in spots. So I just work it in with this. I finish off with a powder. I use MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, which works great for me. This is one of those foundations, though, where it does not get oily, or at least for me, it did not get shiny or slippery whatsoever during the day. I mean, this stuff stays on. So if you're really dry, you don't really need to use a powder. I just like the way it looks, but is not a necessity with this foundation. So the staying power, as I mentioned, well, I mean, it's called Revlon Colorstay, but it stays. Like, it is more, this foundation is almost like a stain, as in the way it soaks into your skin. It's like a lip stain almost. You know how you put a lip stain on your lips, and even, you know, after eating and everything, it still stays there. This is very much what this foundation is like. You will absolutely need a heavy-duty cleanser to get this off. A lot of people mention that this breaks them out, and I gotta be honest, the reason it's probably going to break you out is because you're not getting it off at night. You know, this is not the kind of foundation where you get a makeup wipe your face, and it's gone. I use my cold cream. That's always worked great for me, but, you know, you can go pick up, like, matte cleansing oil would work great for this, or, you know, just any makeup remover that is made to take off waterproof makeup, because although this doesn't say it's waterproof, it very much functions like a waterproof makeup. And I do want to mention, I forgot, it has SPF 15 in it too, which is a pretty good balance. You should still use your regular sunscreen if you're going to be out in the sun, but, you know, this is enough, you know, to sort of cover you for if you're at the office or whatever. So overall, this, I mean, I love this foundation. For having dry skin, it's very hard to find a foundation that's going to stay on all day without drying my skin out really badly. But this one just sort of soaks in. It stays there all day. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It's like putting on a lotion or something. It sits on top for a second, but then once you work it in, it's soaked in and it's in there all day. I love the coverage. I love the price. I love the amount you get. I mean, the only thing, if I was going to be really picky, that I could complain about is the packaging. It would be nice to have a pump, but, you know, as long as you're not sticking your dirty fingers down in there, you know, I would recommend just pouring it out on the back of your hand first. It's a lot more sanitary. It's just not that big of a deal. And anyway, they're coming out with a pump. So, would I repurchase? I would absolutely repurchase. I don't see why I would spend $30, $40, $50 on a foundation from a makeup counter when you can get this kind of a product for $9, $10 at your drugstore. I'm just trying to think of who it wouldn't work for. I can't imagine who couldn't wear this unless you don't want this full coverage. Because you can choose from combination oily and normal dry, it pretty much covers every skin range. So I would say just, you know, do your best to find what color you are. You can always mix two to get the right match. And go give this foundation a try, because I bet you anything you will completely love it. So I know a lot of other people have reviews up on this foundation, but I hope mine helped, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.